Hey y'all, so I just wanted to get on here to talk about InstaQuest. The InstaQuest that I posted the other day was about their problem of evil. And I asked them questions like, do you think evil exists? If so, why or how does it exist? I asked if you all thought that if all people were born innocent, or if some people were born evil, like if evil people exist. And my thoughts on this are not complete at all. Like, I go back and forth a lot. I took a class my sophomore year called Perfect God in Perfect World, the Problem of Evil. And so for a semester long, we talked about these kinds of things. And at the end of it, you kind of are left a little frustrated because you're like, okay, I thought about all these things, but what's the truth? Like, what's right? And that's something that I love about philosophy, is the fact that there's room for your own interpretations. There is no right or wrong answer. It's fluid, but it's also something that can be frustrating for a lot of people, and even me. Like, it's a love-hate relationship. But yeah, so as far as people being born innocent, or if there are evil people that are just like created, I think that we're all born innocent, mainly just because the God that I believe in God, and I don't believe in every little single thing of the Bible, and this may kind of discredit what I'm saying, because it's like, okay, so how do you pick and choose what to believe? That's a whole nother topic. But one of the things I do believe in the Bible is that we were all created by God, and I just can't imagine a God that creates us and creates some of us evil and some of us not, and for what reasons. Like, that just doesn't seem like a fair God, because we see these babies and we think of like innocence, and like, I don't know, it's like that's the beginning, that's the foundation of life. And so for somebody to have that sort of disadvantage seems kind of, I don't know, like a mean joke or something. But then again, you see babies come out at disadvantage in other ways. They might have a disability or something of that nature, or babies having cancer. So it's like, that's hard. It's a hard argument to make, really. And like I said, I go back and forth. Like, sometimes you hear those stats about, oh, you can tell if a kid has serial killer like qualities or traits early on in life, if they like to, I don't know. I know one of them was like, they like to torture animals or stuff like that. So it's like, when there's signs like that in research that says like, okay, these earlier signs can predict that this person's gonna be this way or that, it's like, okay, well, maybe they are, because I don't know if you really learn that as a kid. Like, I'm sure like there aren't parents out there telling their kids, I mean, maybe, but not all of them, telling their kids to like torture or kill animals. And so it's like they have this desire to do this on their own, which makes you think logically like, okay, then they must have been born that way, because they haven't had enough worldly experience to really, I don't know, for this to be something that is kind of like, I don't know how I want to say it. My point is that I'm going back and forth. Like, sometimes I think, okay, we're all born innocent, and like all these babies and kids are just so innocent. And then sometimes I'm like, okay, well, sometimes these kids do have these telling signs that are like very rare and unusual. And so what does that mean? Like, is evil just kind of built into us in some way, and to what extent? And then you get into the problem of like original sin and all that, if you want to stay on the religious side of things. But and then it makes me think about, okay, so if we're not, say we're not born, like we're all born innocent, say that we're all born innocent, so at what age is evil able to take over somebody and cause somebody to like rape, kill, steal, these mass shootings that we're seeing, like, what is corrupting people? And for me, like, something that I've really seen and something that I really like agree with is childhood trauma. And that also kind of follows from the argument that we're all born innocent, and then the traumas from our childhood cause us to, sway different ways. And it's not like you're either evil or you're not. Like, I don't think it's that extreme. I think people have bursts of evilness, or evilness can come and consume somebody for a period of time or a lifetime, or like, I don't know, it depends on how you want to define evil. Another question. But I really think childhood trauma, I know somebody answered that, and that's something that I really do agree with. I think most of our issues, most of our biggest flaws, biggest insecurities do come from our childhood, and that's on my own experience, also looking at other people's lives and stuff like that. And then, what other people said about greed and power and all of that, all those, 7 deadly sins, that also does come into play. And I think as far as preventing evil from coming into your life, that's not a question that I posed, but I think just finding ways to combat those types of things, like greed, envy, power, all those types of things, in your own way. Like, what might work for somebody might not work for another person. Just like finding your balance and being able to look at yourself and say, this is not okay, or like, enough is enough. Being critical of yourself, things like that. Because it's what's going to keep you humble and always, improving upon yourself, not really getting to that comfortable point where you're just like, okay, I'm fine, like, so those are just some ways. I know that was really broad, but that could be another InstaQuest, like ways that you fight evil. When evil tries to come over, when temptation comes over you, what do you do? What's something that you do to, get away from that, I guess. But anyways, another question that I said was, do I think evil exists? I think it definitely exists. And like people were saying, I don't think that the good can exist without the bad, because if there wasn't a bad, if there was no evil, then what would good be? Like, it would just be, I don't know, just a standard. It wouldn't have anything to oppose it, and so it would like decrease its value, I think. And it wouldn't, I don't know what it would even be without the good without the bad, or the bad without the good. But tying this all back to what originally inspired this, which was Yara Shahidi's post about the Mississippi incident, and she was just talking about all of the kids that are involved, and like, you are stripping these kids away from their parents. Like, you're doing all these horrible things to these kids, and at the end of the day, these kids are gonna have to grow up and deal with these traumas, these childhood traumas, and find ways to heal and grow from it. But it's sad because they have no control. And when you're a kid, like, you can't control what's going on. You're innocent. You can't control what your parents are doing, what so and so's doing. Like, they don't deserve that. So also, I just wanted to talk a little bit, just mention that, because that is what inspired me to make this InstaQuest. Because everything really is about the kids. Everything, like all our problems, a lot of problems could be solved if we just looked at each other as they were once a kid. They were once this innocent little child. Everyone has had a family. Everyone has had to grow up and face these traumas, or whatever you want to call them, and just, I guess, just being more empathetic, because that's something that we can all obviously agree on. We all were once kids, and something that we can all empathize with, because we were all once kids, and the way we see, most people see kids now, and it's just innocent little happy imaginative little beings, and it's like, how could you ever do anything to hurt them or harm them? And if we could just have that same, like I said, empathy towards each other, maybe we wouldn't be having all these crazy things going on in the world. These mass shootings, ICE raids, excuse me, I didn't want to cuss in these, but fucking all this shit that's happening and that people don't deserve. We're all people at the end of the day, and we were all once kids, but even more so, like, why do we have to be so divided? And I mean, this is all very idealistic and whatever. I know there are reasons that we're divided and this and that, but I don't know. It's just like, okay, so where the solutions come in, because it just seems like a bunch of problems right now. But anyways, I do want to try to end on a positive note, so let me get out of that. So yeah, I do think evil exists, but I also think that whatever you want to call the opposite of evil, the good, exists and is stronger. And life is really all about perspective and how you see things. And if you can see the positive in people, the redeeming qualities, the positive in life, and the daily monotonous routine, I know it can get old and tiring and exhausting sometimes, but if you can find the subtle little things to be thankful for or to be happy about, maybe we can slowly but surely get over some of these bigger issues that we're facing. But yeah, this is getting kind of long now. I'm gonna stop it. But those are my thoughts. Like I said, I didn't even really think about what I was gonna say before I came onto this video. So if it wasn't clear at times, or you were like, you're going off topic, whatever, that's okay. But yeah, if y'all ever have any ideas for questions or anything like that, you can add me on Instagram at Emma_Ems, EMZZ, and you can DM me. Sometimes I post little things where you can like make stories, and you can type in like ideas and stuff. And yeah, so I'm always open to hearing other people's thoughts, and if they have something that they want to hear other people's perspectives or experiences about, definitely let me know. And I'm happy to get InstaQuest started back up again this summer. Whenever the summer comes around, like summer break, summer vacation, I just get all out of routine. I don't even know what day it is. I mean, not literally, but sometimes I wake up and the date is not important, and like, yeah, that's good, but honestly, I'm ready to get back into my routine. I'm ready to go back to school. I'm ready to feel productive. I need to be in my element. That's where I thrive. Like, this was nice and all, but it's too long. So gotta get back to reality, which includes InstaQuest. And I should have been doing InstaQuest the whole summer, but honestly, whatever, it was a vacation. But I'm back. And I know it's not Monday. Usually I do it on Mondays, but this time I was just spontaneously inspired. But it'll be back to the normal Mondays after this. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.